of Blackwood House, a 5,000-word horror ghost story. Ayan, Sarah, Bilal, and Mehwish stood at the edge of Blackwood Forest, staring at the decaying mansion hidden among the trees. The locals called it the House of No Return. For decades, people whispered about the screams that echoed at night, the windows that glowed with faces of the dead, and the shadows that moved even when no one was inside. "No one's lasted a night in there," Bilal smirked, though his voice cracked slightly. "We'll be the first," Sarah crossed her arms. "Or the last, you've heard the stories." The house had belonged to a wealthy landlord who vanished with his entire family one stormy night. Some said their bodies were buried in the walls. Others claimed the landlord had made a deal with something evil and lost. Since then, every person who stayed overnight either disappeared or went insane. Still, teenagers loved a challenge, and tonight, with the moon hidden and the air heavy, the four friends pushed open the rusted gates and entered the grounds. As they approached the rotting door, a sudden gust of wind slammed it open, as if inviting them inside. "Welcome," whispered a voice. They froze. "Who said that?" Ayan asked, his flashlight beam trembling. But no one answered. The first signs inside. The house smelled of mold, dust, and something metallic, like dried blood. The wallpaper peeled in strips, and portraits of long-dead faces stared down from the walls. They set up in the living room, flashlights, snacks, and a single candle for atmosphere. At first, it felt like just another prank. They laughed too loudly, forcing bravery into their voices. But then, the candle flickered, and a shadow moved across the wall. Only none of them had moved. Sarah gripped Mewish's arm. "Did you see that?" "Probably just the wind," Bilal said quickly, though all the windows were sealed shut. The floorboards creaked above them, slow, deliberate footsteps pacing back and forth. "There's someone upstairs," Ayan whispered. "Impossible," Mewish said. "We locked the door behind us." The footsteps stopped. The silence that followed was worse than the sound. Then came the knock. 3 slow knocks on the ceiling above their heads. The blood room. Determined not to look like cowards, they climbed the staircase. The wood groaned under their weight, and every step felt like walking deeper into a grave. They opened the first door. Inside was a child's bedroom. Dusty toys sat scattered on the floor. A cracked doll stared at them with one missing eye. The air smelled foul. Sarah's flashlight beam caught something on the wall. Words scratched into the plaster with desperate fingernails. "Let me out." Then they noticed the stains. Dark, rusty smears along the walls, the floor, the bed. Blood, fresh blood, still wet. Suddenly, the doll's head turned toward them with a slow, deliberate twist. The 4 friends screamed.